Speak of chat and show them.
We have to do it with on the settings. Ken, can you do that?
Chat,
Shut it down.
chat.
Steve, can you Max out, but knows the volume.
Yep.
Sorry, over here. It's nice.
There we go.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
And Steve.
Oh, we should go. Oh, check
How was your
video.
trip? Good, yeah, you look nice and tan.
That's good. I spent a week with my
That's what you.
grandkids and
Oh, no.
son and daughter-in-law at Universal.
Very nice.
I guess we've done something to do it. Zero chance they still do
No, I wasn't going to do.
Those are great to do that.
it. Yeah.
No, I was going to plug this in. There it is.
John, how are you? Didn't even see you walk in.
So many.
Oh, I'm doing all right.
I'm gonna
Apparently next-
give us some juice.
So Dave, you know my,
I think you and I need to enjoy the day.
you know my brother Fritz.
Yeah,
Like Dave,
yeah.
yeah.
That's all right, we can share. It's just, better to be able to see everything that's happening or not happening, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Yeah. I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking, if Carolyn tries to call me, I don't have my phone, cause I can't find it. I was looking at it and they put it down somewhere in my house, and I cannot find it. And Tim is not there to call me.
I was gonna say, I should.
Chat, there was a menu spot I didn't know.
Yeah, well, no.
Maybe I wanna check.
Yeah.
Tim isn't there to call me because he's over at the senior center,
Can't.
being accessible and not one.
No, he called the. Give. It's not good.
Very good.
Yeah. It's good.
Was Jeffrey Meadow.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, what? The road you dropped in there. Good.
Hey, John, sorry.
All the busy big people on balls in the air, let me tell you.
No doubt. But
With town and Edinburgh.
How do we have so much work to do? There's no snow anymore. That's what's happening, huh?
Very,
Transition.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking inventory and
Wow.
32 stores.
I have a present for you.
Oh, thank you.
Lydia,
This
I dropped it.
This one's been used a few times.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Very
I didn't hear
much.
what you said, what?
Don't lose that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Didn't I tell you about when we were at college, we used to have.
How much is still
inter-department-
open there?
Yeah, they were
Every day it's
open
getting
at-
less and
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
They'll have fun. How are they good skiers or, yeah,
Yeah.
they'll have fun.
Yeah. They made it to Bolton's last 2 days.
He told me.
Yeah. They're,
And I had promised the tickets
Warren
last
had
year.
built a jump in our yard. And then they've been tarping it every night to try to keep the snow. It lasted a
As long as it's not a black card.
Well, I was gone for like 4 or 5 days, and like, what a big difference.
Yeah. This is the time of year when it really shows.
So you went to the desert to watch hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw
Oh, I
Bruno Mars, I saw the Eagles. I saw 3 hockey games. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, my wife,
Oh.
first time ever,
Ah.
28 years, I've been going to this tournament. It's the first time she came along, she says, boy, this is fun.
Now you're gonna partner for life for those trips.
Don't push it there, Steve.
Well, I'm not, somebody else might.
I don't know if she'll make the cut next year. What are you laughing?
I'm laughing at you. That's a really funny story.
Yes, it is.
I wanna know what you did to make the cut good here.
Well, all my boys dropped out,
Oh,
big chicken,
so,
we should,
Want me to leave then? I'm fine either way.
one issue, right? Like I'll send it to me.
Yeah, okay.
Just so you know. The Northfield is held public hearings.
Well, I interested because I was gonna call them. Call her, not knowing what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My clock says 7 o'clock now.
Very good. It being 7 o'clock, I will call this regular meeting to order. Roll call. We're missing Tim Davis this evening. Everyone else is present. Mr. Manager, there's a need to adjust the agenda, I'm told.
Yes, I understand that was prepared to announce the new selection of the new manager.
Yes, and we're gonna take Ken Strong off the agenda,
That's what I understand. I understand he called in and said he wouldn't be here.
okay?
That's good.
So,
all good news.
I will put that at the beginning of the meeting, then our special announcement that we have this evening. And I would ask our vice chair to make a motion.
I recommend a motion to appoint Mary Diego Smith as the town manager and to authorize the chair to sign an employment contract on behalf of the board.
Second. Moved and seconded. Questions, comments? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? 400, and we welcome Mary. And I anticipate she'll be coming on board in the next few weeks.
Yeah, did she give you a date?
Not yet. She said she could be attending the meeting tonight, so she might be here a little later.
Yeah, I've had some conversations with her and I'm under the understanding that she can start the beginning of the last week of April, which is my last week, so it would be a great overlap and transition. So if she's able to do that, it couldn't have worked any better.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Next item on the agenda, we have Jeffrey Lewis and Mallory Duncan here from Aldrich and Elliott, and they're going to speak to us tonight about Northfield wastewater treatment facility and a 20-year evaluation report.
Yeah, I just want to tee this up for a little bit. It came to my attention, I think a month or so ago, that the evaluation report had been done in November 2024. I was under the impression that no presentation had been made to the board, but I may be wrong. But at any rate, it's 2 years out. We're really in the beginning of a multi-year plan, and I thought it would be prudent to have Alderson Elliott to do a little presentation of the board and get it on your radar screen.
Yeah, really appreciate that. My name is Jeffrey Lewis. I'm gonna mainly be pulling AV stuff. The first question I have for you guys, would you guys like me to share the PowerPoint on your Zoom or?
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
was good for the audience.
I just didn't want to mess up your broadcast just in case, but I can usually get away with things. Yes, so as Steve said, my name is Jeff. I'm the owner with Alderson Elliott, and we did a 20-year evaluation for your facility a couple of years ago, or just about a year and a half ago at this point. This is a wastewater permit required, a required evaluation that we do that basically looks at every aspect of the wastewater treatment facility to ensure that things are operating the way that they should and kind of identify if there is any needed work. Working or with me tonight is Mallory Duncan. She's one of our process engineers on our staff. She's also a local resident here and taught at Norwich and has a great thing. So we have the local community kind of coming to you from your local Vermont engineers. We wanted to kind of show you what was in that 20-year. There is some work that's recommended for your wastewater treatment facilities. We're happy to kind of introduce this to you and kind of answer any questions that you may have, because there is some stuff that we recommend that you guys do. With that, I'll hand it over to Mallory.
Next slide. But yeah, pretty much as Jeff prefaced, this 20-year facility evaluation, we look at the sewer collection system, any pump stations that may be present, and then the wastewater treatment facility itself. It's required for the discharge permit, and we completed it near the end of 2024. We did start working on it about 2 full years ago. We did a lot during the spring and summer with Jim and the other staff down at the wastewater plant. So I'm briefly going to go over our main findings for each of those sections that I just talked about. So for the sewer collection system, basically what we did is a visual representation and inspection of a good representation of the manholes. It's hard to look at all of the manholes in the system because there are quite a few. We went through and looked at all of the stream crossings. So there are 7 parts across the Dog River where the sewer collection system crosses underneath the river. So just making sure that, you can't see the pipe, it's not sticking out anywhere, because those can be hazardous and potentially cause further erosion, leaking, things like that. And then just discuss problems with operators on if there are any issues that people are noting to them. So for the manholes, a lot of our manholes were in actually really good shape. They hadn't been touched in quite a while. They are relatively original from the 60s. A lot of them were in great shape. They had been grouted or just relined. There was some nice actual bricking too that was still in a lot of them, that was not completely crumbling in, which was nice to see. The biggest issue was Intersect 19, which is right up past Good Measure and East Street. It's that very tall manhole at the top of that pull-off. And it's about 40 feet up in the air, and there's nothing in it. There's nothing surrounding it. So should the operators need to go and take a look in there, it's very unsafe for them to be able to pop the lid and be able to go look at it. I guess there used to be a concrete pedestal around it, but it's since kind of disintegrated. So it's just a big manhole that's like risen 40 feet up off of the ground. So that was pretty much our primary recommendation for manholes that we looked at, was getting that one fixed. And then I did put together just some of the other manholes that in general needed some upkeep to keep in this good condition, so you don't end up having to go through a lot of upgrades all at once. And then came together with this recommendation for the improvement year schedule. So mind you, all of these improvement year schedules that I'm going to talk about are from a year and a half ago, basically almost 2 years ago. So ideally, some of these already would have been completed, but that's why we're bringing this up. Similarly with the sewer collection system, so the pipes that convey it down to the wastewater treatment plant, a lot of it was in good shape. The town has done a great job of televising a lot of the sewer over the years and having good upkeep on that. They just bought a vac truck, when I had talked to them in 2024 to help clean out the sewer lines when it's needed. All that is the proper upkeep that you want to be doing. There was one major concern, which is a run of pipe along Beans Field behind Sherman Avenue on the other side of the river. There was, due to erosion, a bit of the sewer line sticking out of the edge of the bank. So the bank had actually eroded away, and there is some sewer line that you can visibly see that's sticking out of the bank. So that definitely needs to be addressed pretty quickly. The state definitely wants things like that handled.
You recall what that pipe material is?
I can look, it's
I'm sure
it's in the report, yeah, we have it mapped as well in the appendix. I'm trying to remember, I don't off the top of my head.
No, don't worry.
Yeah, no, you're good. But yeah, same thing, continued uptake. Town's doing a good job at it, so just mainly keeping up and then fixing the small few problem spots that we have. In terms of the stream crossings that I mentioned, so stream crossing 6 and 7, the basically stream has eroded a bit at the bottom of the stream bed, and you can start to see the pipe as it comes up to the banks. So again, I think I did include photos of those in the appendix as well, if you want to take a look at any of those, but just something that needs to be addressed. You don't want these pipes getting exposed. So again, another small item, but overall, was in good shape. So we have one pump station down on Jarvis Lane. It was in good shape. There's one pump that will need to be replaced a little bit sooner than the other ones, but other than that, it's a pretty simple pump station, no issues there. So now we're gonna go through the big part, which is the actual wastewater treatment facility.
I'm gonna pause you right there, Mallory. Does
Yeah.
anybody have any questions about the wastewater collection system? Because there's a lot there, and just want to put a highlight on the exposed pipe along the riverbed that we recommend that you guys do something about.
So we haven't addressed that.
That has not been addressed to date. And
Okay.
what we're gonna talk about the recommended implementation schedule at the back end here. That would be one of the things that coming into this, we just wanted to say like, hey, you should probably do something about that. So just wanted to put an exclamation point on that before we moved into the wastewater treatment facility.
And obviously staff knows about it.
They are aware. Yep, and I think that he has built in a little bit into his budget, which I could be speaking out of turn, but he is aware of it as an issue, and I believe is looking for the support and help of the board to kind of try to help that get addressed. Now to everybody's favorite part, the wastewater treatment facility.
You guys don't have just how much we need to put aside for that?
That's a great question. It is in that report
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
2024,
So
and
the table is at the very end of this slideshow as well. I think it's the last couple pages of the report.
Yeah.
I can just talk quickly about that now. So, it's the town funded implementation schedule. It's the
Yeah.
back few pages of the report. So basically what I had looked at is, from the sewer collection system and the wastewater treatment facility stuff that I'll go through, I put together a 5-year fiscal plan about just how you want to handle some stuff. And we did budget a range of things depending on what the state would like us to do for preliminary engineering, as it will likely require a preliminary engineering report and then actual construction and phasing there. I think it was 10 to 15 for the preliminary engineering, then 75 to 100.
we would also be happy to follow up with either you or the new town manager to kind of get this one kind of rolling. More than anything else, our objective tonight is to just be, hi, we're your friendly engineers and we're here to help. We recommend that you get going on these kinds of projects. Yeah, not your wastewater treatment facility.
So, wastewater is collected through those lovely sewer pipes we just talked about, and it starts at the preliminary treatment stage. So as you can see here, there is a screen that rotates through and collects some of the grit. That stuff is when you drive by the plant, you're either smelling, I'll talk about it a little bit later, you're smelling the sludge that's outside, or you may very well be smelling the grit part of it. Those are the two really smelly parts. These poor operators have to take the grit out of a bag, carry it up 2 flights of stairs, and then dump it out. So not only is it not ideal process wise, it's not great for their bodies. This stuff is heavy, it's stinky, it is not, you don't want to come in contact with it. So that's one of the major issues in the preliminary treatment that they would especially like to be addressed. And then just in general, you know, the facility was last upgraded overall in 2004. Wastewater treatment facilities typically last 20 to 25 years. So we are nearing that spot where we will need to do a larger upgrade for more expensive things like a new screen, some blowers, things like that. So the wet well and pump room is going to send the water to the next stage, which will be the SBRs. A lot of the equipment here has been replaced. This area flooded during Irene. So a lot of these have been flooded and the motors have been replaced. So these are actually in pretty good shape. Just again, a very similar theme that you'll see throughout this. Some of the stuff is just nearing the end of its useful life and will need to be replaced soon. So secondary treatment or biological treatment is those big tanks that you can see from the road. So those are the SBRs or the sequential batch reactors. Big things to note here. So one of the chemicals that gets added to it is pumped in along the side, and that line does freeze and break frequently. And so that's one of the big issues is those chemicals are needed for treatment for pH. And so being able to get that into the SBR is pretty essential. I did recommend this in that table that I showed a little bit further down the road. The wastewater operator has actually already started addressing this, so it should be
He's
fixed.
completed that repair.
Oh, it's all the way done now? Awesome. All right, so that big issue has been tackled. So that's great to hear. And then just another thing to note. Yes.
They can't see this online.
No, they can't. I can't see it.
Oh,
They just can't chat either.
oh, I apologize on both counts.
Sorry, it's not your fault.
Is that,
Somebody just messaged me.
You're
Sorry,
good.
I just saw it.
I can try that. Let's try that.
All we get is the first blue page. So
There we go.
now we're going on it.
Oh,
I shared to the wrong page. My apologies.
Thanks, Kristen.
Well, I thought I was being a dope, so I didn't say anything.
Sorry,
No, it's a learning curve.
technology is hard, honestly.
It is.
So another thing to note here, so these big basins have air pumped into them. Basically how the treatment works is little microbes degrade a lot of the waste, so they need air to survive. And so there are aeration blowers that pump air into these basins, and they are currently pretty oversized for what's needed. They are, again, one of those things that's nearing the end of its useful life. So if an upgrade is done, then that will be one of the big items that's addressed as well. Just sizing it to a proper capacity, which will be slightly smaller. They're way too big. It'll be slightly smaller, so they'll be cheaper, less energy bills. So there are some positives as well coming out of this. So after the SBRs, the water flows to a post-equalization tank, which is that big shiny dome that you see from the road. And so that is where it flows. That tank is in pretty good shape, no major concerns there. And then chemical feed, as you can see here, so this stuff is pretty caustic. It degrades a lot of the hoses quicker than not, and so these pumps need to be replaced more often than not. Jim actually is already working on replacing some of these, so it's in the capital fund implementation plan, but he's already in contact for replacing some of these.
I think he's replaced 2 or 3 already.
Yeah.
That's a pretty typical maintenance item. It's not a high capital cost. That's something that we
Yeah.
typically see turned over.
So sludge that is generated from the SBRs is pumped into sludge storage tanks. One of them is located basically protruding into the garage, as you can kind of see here. So that's the garage roof with the edge of the tank coming into it. It's not sealed great, it does leak, so that's a safety hazard. Again, just aging items, and then the dried sludge area, as I had already previously mentioned, is just basically a pit where the sludge gets dumped. It could be enclosed, there could be odor control. If you look near the back of the report, the last few pages, I also did evaluate talking about building something for that, but it's a bit of a big expense, and so that would more than likely not come out of capital funds. It would occur during a big project if you guys wanted to do something to mitigate that.
A for your consideration, if you will, if you have a lot of odor complaints, not something required for your permit, but something that might improve your community.
Yeah. For disinfection, it goes through chlorine contact and then is sent out to the Dog River. A similar thing, the chlorine line that feeds into the water is underground and it does freeze occasionally, so.
There were efforts being made to replace those as well that might have already been addressed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about those.
But
Yeah. So another small thing that just we'll take note of. So for facility structures, again, as I mentioned, so that's the garage, the edge of the sludge storage tank is poking into that. The water facility is not heated. The operators did express if, we are doing a bigger upgrade, they would like heat in the building as they are in there during the winter. Again, it's not necessary. They've been dealing with it for a long time, but it is just something to consider for operator comfort.
Can I mention something?
Yeah.
We had a presentation several months ago by the Energy Commission
Yes.
Committee, and they talked about a recovery system where you can get heat from poop,
Yeah.
basically.
Yes.
And it would heat that building, so my eyes lit up, and so did Jim's. It's like, yeah,
they don't.
Definitely
like
something we
that.
can look
They
at.
don't
Either
currently have a
different
digester, right?
digesters,
Yeah, so that's a pretty massive improvement to your wastewater treatment
Yeah.
facility.
oh, is it?
What that involves is something called construction of a big closed tank called a digester.
Yeah,
And what you do is you encourage things to break down without air and make methane, and then you can burn the methane. I would estimate in order to put a digester, just talking to you right now, you're in the multi-million-dollar range to do something like that.
oh,
So
I didn't know that.
that would be something that you can definitely go down that road, specifically since we're talking about dried sludge. But given your size and given where you guys are currently at, that's not something
Go down that road.
that's not something that we would typically, it is a very cool technology and it is being used.
But yeah.
It's more affordable than that.
But
If you already
yeah.
had digesters, yeah, some communities have them and just don't utilize that, but the facility currently does not have digesters, so.
Digestives also have to be heated too, to
So-
85 degrees, I can't remember.
Yep,
And you could do that off the gases, the methane that's generated, but still you gotta maintain the temperature.
it would not be a recommendation for your community, given your size and the costs that would be required to get started.
What size community do you?
So Montpelier is around here. They have one that's that fancy thing that you drive past on 89 that has the flame sometimes.
Okay.
Very.
Berries, yeah, they're down that road as well. I think those are the two closest communities that have them. Yeah, but there are other things that this community could do to try to get some energy savings. Like Mallory indicated, one of the largest energy uses at your facility would be those big blowers that need to get air into the facility. And putting smaller blowers there or giving you better blower control would save you guys energy in the long term. So we definitely have an eye on trying to save energy with all the upgrades that we do. And that'd be kind of how we would try to attack it with this particular process.
Okay.
A lot of the state work too, we do communicate with Efficiency Vermont, so, as you go through a bigger upgrade, they will be involved, so.
Yeah, so this was that table that Mallory kind of indicated at, and there's a few different things that are on here. Some of the things have already been addressed, as we indicated, as you'll note, the fiscal year starts at 2026, and we're well into that at this point. The things that I'd recommend that you guys be aware of are those interceptor pipes that are there. And just the current age of your wastewater treatment facility, since you guys are over that, the number that everybody likes to throw around is every 20 years. That's the magic lifespan that everybody says wastewater treatment facility equipment lasts. You guys have outshone your 20-year span at this point. You guys are into the 25-year time frame. So
We're into this part of it.
you're good. Yeah, you're
Holding our tongues straight.
so separate from that. And the plant is in good shape. It's just
like you're on the verge, but it's.
you have it coming.
Plants where we're like, man, how is this still working?
Yeah.
And we've been to plants, we're like, wow, this looks good for being 25 years old. They have done a great job upkeeping this facility. So nothing's on the verge of like breaking and you're out millions of dollars overnight. This is more just process equipment is going to start failing and
Life cycle improvements.
That's where you're at.
Yeah.
And it's just putting a notification that like, hey, you guys are getting there.
yeah. So essentially, when we looked at this, we went out 5 fiscal years for capital improvement because it's expected that around year 6 or 7. So now year 4 to 5, you'll be starting that larger improvement project that would require, loan funding and things like that from the state.
And that's what Mallory's talking about right now, or any of those longer term improvements. You're not there yet. It's coming. The thing that we are recommending is that exposed pipe, but everything else, you guys are in pretty good shape. And now, if we haven't put you guys all to sleep, if you guys have any questions or if there's anything that you'd like to know about your wastewater facilities that we can answer, we'd be happy to talk about them.
There will be a quiz. Well, I thought it was, I don't mean to talk about questions, but I thought it was appropriate to have them in, and now this is on the radar screen. I know Jim has been working toward the site distance, but we need to make sure that there's some recommendations for 26 this coming summer. I'm not sure if we can get those done or not, but I'll work with Mary in the transition and also with A&E and start to get those on the radar screen, get the annual improvements going.
So most of these are state mandated items that we have to address for the larger upgrades.
So the creation of the report was state mandated. They required you guys to look at everything every 20 years. There is not currently anything that the state is saying you must do this.
Okay.
There are things that we have raised as potential issues that we recommend. And if you guys choose not to, for example, address the pipe on the river, I would say that there is a high likelihood that somebody from the state will eventually notice and say, hey, you guys have to do something about that.
Yep.
Nobody has done that yet. That is not the situation you guys are currently in. But these are the kind of reports that they kind of file away in the back of their mind, like, here are the situations.
Okay.
And then they'll check in probably at like the end of this year and say, like, hey, have you guys made any progress on this? And that's kind of how that compliance mechanism is intended to work.
And then Mallory indicated there were state funding programs.
Yes.
So can you explain that?
Absolutely. So for something like this pipe that is exposed, the number one source of money that communities typically use is called the Vermont State Revolving Fund. And the intention of the program is to address exactly what we have here. It's municipal projects that address public need. And the program, we can kind of walk you through it. I don't know if this particular, I believe that this study was actually funded through the Vermont State Revolving Fund because the right people were asking me for it. So the process basically consists of, as you enter into a step 1 agreement, you also, like for us to do preliminary engineering, you simultaneously put in an application to the state to apply for their funding program. And if we were so lucky to use us, there's the first step that you would have to do is a qualifications-based selections process to choose your engineer that you'd like to work with. We can help you with that RFQ. I don't believe that you have one on file from when you did your environmental or your assessment, but if you do, then you could use that one again. After you've selected your engineer, you'll work with that engineer to put it together a service agreement to do the preliminary engineering report and to enter into a step 1 loan agreement. And then it kind of just flows. You have a representative from the state that kind of double checks all of our work all the time. They look at our services, make sure that what we're charging you guys is fair, and then they ultimately have to approve or give us any edits that they would like on our work. So that would be the recommended program there. And the advantage of that, I've kind of buried the lead there. You get it's been a while since I've looked at this number. I apologize. I believe that it's a 50% subsidy up to $100,000.
I believe the Main Street work that's being done is funded through CWFRS, so it should be very similar to that process that you guys went through.
And so you get subsidy at the front end to help cover your engineering planning advance. I believe it is 50% usually, typically for up to $100,000. We would not be anywhere near that for this of your engineering work on the step 1 and on the step 2. So that's part of why we recommend that. If our bill's $20,000 or $30,000, you're only paying $10,000 to $15,000 on that. So, and then during construction, there's additional grants and subsidies that are available through that program. It's a little bit of a moving target with the way that the federal things are now, but we're a little ways away from needing to worry about exactly which pots of money are available for step 3.
So when you say I'm hogging time here,
Oh, this is a great question.
when, we're a ways away, like 5 to 10 years or?
I think that you should do something quicker than that.
Okay.
My recommendation would be that you guys try to conduct a step one engineering evaluation on this exposed pipeline and have that completed by December of this year.
Okay,
I just think that if we've seen some pretty extreme weather patterns recently, and I think that if there were to be the right storm that would hit, that pipe would be gone and you guys would have an actual issue.
yeah,
So if you were to complete PER this year, you would look to do a final design, depending on how big the project is that comes out of that. It could be a simple or a more complicated final design, but you'd really probably want to get this out to bid in 2027 would be the recommended timeline that I would go for. And whether that's the middle or the end of 2027, I think is kind of depends on how the preliminary engineering goes, but that gives you the rest of this year to kind of fully define the project, get an idea as far as what the costs and all the funding sources and all that are, and then move forward with putting together a good design, figuring out if we need easements or anything like that. Things that could delay that timeline are environmental review processes, easements. It gets the whole engineering. Why we actually get our projects going is because we work for all those details, but. That'd be the recommended start would be to at least get under the step one to do a preliminary engineering on that pipe assessment.
thanks. Questions?
I would like to commend our staff for making us look good. I appreciate that. Yeah,
I taught the wastewater class at Norwich for 4 years, and so I've been to the plant a lot.
Yeah.
And every time I go, it is in great shape. They do a wonderful job.
they do.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
There are stream crossings across the dog on either side of the Main Street Bridge.
Okay.
We are taking the dam out this year,
Okay.
and they prepared some drawings to armor those crossings, the sewer crossings there. And did you review those or?
This was done 2 years ago, basically, so I haven't seen any of the drawings that they've done recently.
There was an individual with our office named Wayne Elliott. He was around for quite a while. If you've been around, there's a non-zero chance that somebody at one point sent him a drawing to look at. But nobody, I have not looked at any drawings to see any of the anchoring or anything that's proposed on those sewer lines today.
Okay. Excuse me. And now table 7.3. I see you have total revenue from other sources is 1.1 million or 1.2, whatever. And I'm trying to figure out how much the bond would be to do all these things that are recommended.
It's a fair question. It's a little bit of a premature question, which is an annoying answer. I don't have a good answer as far as what the final costs would be specifically for the pipe project in the stream. Overall, I think that we give an idea as far as how much money to put aside. Some of that money has already been requested by your operator, and others of it is kind of newish. Both Steve and the operator have had kind of our recommendation, and they've been working off of things and trying to address them as they've gone. So I don't have a good answer for you as far as what's currently built into your budget versus what would need to be added on for additional work. That's a very long way of saying I don't have a good answer for you.
Don, are you asking about the short-term work that we need to get done, or the very significant larger projects that would start in 2020
5 years or so.
or 5 years? Yeah.
Well, I was looking for the short term and I was looking for the long term.
It's a fair question. We've tried to break it down for the short term in that other table that's there, which is
7.5.
7.5.
7.5. And as you can see, a lot of those numbers that are in 7.5 could comfortably fit within a capital budget typically. I don't know if they're currently earmarked to be there or not. And then for a larger scale project, which is not fully defined admittedly, and as Steve pointed out, things are in pretty good shape and we're looking at something 5 years from now. That would have more of an impact. You would start actually paying for that improvement the year after you finish construction. So we're talking about a number that's 7 or 8 years away at the soonest. And I don't have a good idea of what that impact would be on your budget right now.
Once preliminary engineering is started too, that'll firm up what we're looking at short term for a lot of this stuff.
Correct.
So hopefully by December-ish, you would have a solid number. The 20-year evaluation is not meant to, give you a proposed project, just an overview of what the system is and potential red flags.
Okay. That's all I got.
Thanks, Sean.
I just wanna thank Steve and you both for coming tonight. When I received this report the first time, I read through it. And it's very readable as far as these things go, but as a layperson, it's much more helpful to have you here in person to explain stuff. And I really appreciate the tables and how legible they are for figuring out like which things are in poor condition and which things need to be addressed in like the 2 to 5 versus the 6 to 10 years. That's very appreciated.
Happy to accept the invitation
Yeah.
again. Thank you. Always happy to come and talk to people about.
Yeah,
projects.
and now I'm much more clear up too on like which thing is truly the top priority, which is very helpful.
Mission accomplished on our end.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Mark.
I just don't want to mess up your thing. You guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I have messed up your thing. There we go.
It's like,
And the people that are online, I think that they can see the main screen. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under public participation, next is Karen Boyce, and I'd ask the manager to give us an overview.
Yes, I don't have a lot of details. One thing I just as a perfunctory matter, just reached out to Bijan. And I know Bijan's last name is that's what it is.
Yeah.
But at any rate, he confirmed that Norwich supports the coin drop request, and their interest and emphasis is doing what they can to support the veterans, so they wholeheartedly endorsed the coin drop.
Yes, I reached out to, Bill Pasalakwa. And because is on the, commencement committee. And because I know him, and so. He met with the committee and he said, oh, my office is all on board, public safety is all on board, I just need to talk to the president. And he got the okay from the president, but I was asked to bring something in writing, that's his email. And, so I had already addressed, the time frame was, the commencement starts at 10 o'clock. So we would definitely be done, before then, because people will already be in there, so probably start at 8 to a little bit before 10. And then be done with it. I also anticipate because, if you guys approve this. People don't carry money.
It's absolutely.
It's more or less going to be more awareness. So I have printed these, I would get these printed out. These are the handouts. There will be a Venmo, so people will be able to actually go, okay, I'm gonna look into this program and see whether I want to donate to it or not. And so they can do it in the future. But these are what I'm planning on handing out to people that are going by that, can't donate right then and there, but want to at some point.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we go right from that to the bottle drive down at Kenyon's, so.
Same day.
Yes. This will be the 4th annual bottle drive down there this year. And Tim Martin is gonna do the redemption again. I had talked to the police chief and he's yeah, he was all on board with the bottle drive also.
So I think I would need a motion for further discussion.
I so move, so we can discuss.
Second,
It's moved and seconded to approve a coin drop as requested. Discussion, Lenny.
Oh, I just wondered if we needed to make a motion or if we could just have the manager decide, but
I think it's
We have
better
a
to make a
motion,
motion and to discuss it, if we have any discussion questions.
no, the only thing that we talked about last time, I don't know if anybody searched to their memory, it's just the thought that we had said no to some other times and trying to be consistent and, but I don't have any clear recollections, so, and I don't have, it's a good cause and we seem like we've asked the people who would be impacted, so.
John?
okay, you're gonna have cones out there and so on to protect the
Yes.
donors, not the donors, but the.
Selectors, yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I
And we'll
got.
have signage and stuff too.
Mary?
I have some trepidation about traffic. That's a very congested place and a congested time. But, I think we won't know unless we try it. Can we say, you know, we're gonna revisit this afterwards and see if we're sorry or not?
Oh, absolutely. My thought was, when I came up with this is the traffic's already at a standstill getting into the university, similar to getting into town on Labor Day.
Yes, it
So
is.
it's, you know, it's not moving fast, and so we can just go up and hand people the handout and, you know, if they throw money in the bucket, they throw money in the bucket.
Well, we'll just do a postmortems, you know, afterwards.
Absolutely, happy to, yeah. Yeah. We do that with any of the fundraisers we do, you know, what could we have done differently or what didn't work and what did work kind of thing, so.
Yeah.
So my only suggestion, Karen, is going to be a start time and a hard end time in our approval. And I think 9:30 is better than 10 o'clock, closer to 10.
Yeah.
It just gives that much more relief to flow of traffic for people getting in. So if the motion maker and the seconded would take that as a friendly amendment, starting of the approval starting at 8 AM and ending at 9:30.
That's a friendly amendment.
I would
accept
like-
that.
Okay,
To do that.
okay,
That was my only concern, is giving it enough time to end, so traffic flow is better towards the end.
okay.
Any other questions?
Wish you good luck.
Hearing none. I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving coin drop as presented, starting at 8 AM, ending at 9:30 AM, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining, 400. You have your event. Good luck.
Thank you, and I will contact Bill Pasalacqua and let him know of the start and end time also.
Great.
If he's aware. And he can let the committee know. All right, thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
You're welcome.
Have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too.
Well, it's been brought to my attention that our new town manager is in the room. So welcome, Mary. We have appointed you our new town manager. I hope you are happy with that.
I am very happy. I'm very excited to work with everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you, Mr.
No, I'm
Manager.
looking forward to the transition.
Next item on the agenda is liquor license renewals for Convenience Plus and the Woods Lodge.
Make a motion to approve them.
Second,
Moved and seconded. Comments, questions, concerns, Lydia? John?
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
So Convenient Plus, which is NU Beverage LCC. And the Woods Lodge
the second one is Woods Lodge.
are asking for approval of their license renewals.
Okay. And Convenience Plus has nothing to do with this.
Convenient, we're two of them. So we're approving Convenience Plus, which is NU Beverage LLC.
This is Convenience Plus right here,
And then
Yeah.
the second one is Woods Lodge.
but there's two for them.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, we're only doing the liquor renewals right now.
And we're still under the,
Outside.
we'll be
Okay.
informed if there've been any issues in the past year.
That's my understanding when these are brought to us, and these start at the town clerk, who forwards them on to the town manager or Ken to, put on our agenda. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in agreement to approve the liquor license renewals for Convenient Plus, NU Beverage LCC, and the Woods Lodge, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining, 400. Next item on the agenda is the outside consumption permit for the Woods Lodge.
So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the outside consumption permit for the Woods Lodge, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining, 400. Approval of minutes, look for a motion for approval of minutes of March 23rd.
So moved.
second,
Discussion, comments, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes of March 23rd, 2026, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining, 400. March 24th.
So moved.
second,
Moved and seconded. Comments, questions, Lydia? John
I don't have any.
and Mary,
nothing,
and I'm good too. Further discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the regular meeting minutes of March 24th, 2026, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? 400. April 1st, special meeting.
So moved.
second,
Moved and seconded. Comments, questions, anyone? Nope, hearing none. All those in favor of approving the minutes of April 1st, 2026, say aye.
aye,
Opposed? Abstaining, 400. And finally, April 6th, 2026.
So moved.
second,
Moved and seconded. Comments, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving minutes of April 6th, 2026, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining, 400. Next item on the agenda, approval of bills, approval of warrant 19 through 26 and 19 through 26 A through D in the amount of $833,736.27. Need a motion?
so moved,
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments, questions, Lydia? All set? John
I'm all set.
and Mary,
all set also.
and I'm good to go. That was pretty simple tonight. Okay, no further discussion. All those in favor of approving warrant 19 through 26 and 19 through 26 A through D in the amount of $833,736.27, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining, 400. And we have approval of warrant 1926E.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. This is, looks like a renewal of a note. Or payment of a note. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving warrant 19 through 26E in the amount of $107,373.21, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining, 400.
Appreciate you clarifying with that, Ben.
Yep, next item on the agenda is receipt of biweekly payroll through March 29th, 2026 in the amount of $98,499.06.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to receive the biweekly payroll. All those in favor of receiving the biweekly payroll, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining, 400. Select Board, building a resilient infrastructure and community brick, also known as grant application authorization. Mr. Manager, is Mr. Tom here
Yep, Tom
tonight?
Davis,
Yes, he is.
Community Development Director, is here to give us the overview. Alice is in the building.
We're not throwing bricks at him either.
Precursors, really quickly. First of all, I speak for myself, but I was in the room with the rest of the department heads. We're delighted to welcome Marianne as our town manager. We're very, very excited. Thank you. Second thing, one correction to the report about the wastewater plant. They actually carry a 50-gallon bucket up those stairs every day to dump it. So, and they never complain about it, which is remarkable. And Mary, you were on the right track. There was actually a lot of money for biodigesters. And the Trump administration just rolled back giving any out until the end of 2027, but they will be back. And there's been a lot of federal funding in Vermont for those projects, so I wouldn't give up on that yet. Just
My hope lies with you. I can't believe it.
It's mainly for agriculture.
Contain yourself, please.
This brick, this particular grant was one that was up before and then it was eliminated by the federal government, but it has returned. I had already gone through the process of discussing all the details of it. And just to give you an overview, you all know the map in your head, so I was going to bring you a visual aid, but we're talking about the area by the rugby pitch and Mayo Complex and Water Street. The proposal is that we go for this same grant, which would do three things. It would assist Norwich with the process of continuing to do their flood mitigation around the rugby pitch. Those who are familiar, they have done a lot of work already where they removed the riprap and then they planted willow plants for trees. And then they've done a bunch of things with coconut mesh and other, what are they called? Pashines or something like that. They're also now looking at potentially putting some reservoirs in the form of holding water down by the river that could be released at a later date. The goal is to have a floodable field, just like Dog River Park, so that they know they can't keep it dry, but if they can keep the debris off of it, they could still use it. Part of it would help them. Another component of this would be, was we know we have one house left on Water Street on the river side, right where it bends very close to Water Street. This would include completing the process of offering the owner of that house a chance for a FEMA buyout, and we could remove that property as well. And the third, which is most dear to me, is it would include a full scoping and engineering to fortify Water Street even more right by the Mayo Complex, so that if we did ultimately want to put a independent senior living center there, we would not be blocked by the state being concerned about the fact that it could flood and there wouldn't be ample time for evacuation. Needless to say, that's already more important with assisted living and memory care, but if you add the extra population, they're gonna wanna be comfortable that we have a really strong plan there to make sure they can get out, but also hopefully it won't flood at all. So those are the three components. Is probably gonna be somewhere in the vicinity of $500,000 to $600,000. The application, the first step of the application is just a letter of intention to put in the specific details. It has to be accepted before you can take phase two. There is a 25% portion that's required from the community. There are some possible stacking opportunities for us to find that funding. We also have money in the economic development ARPA funding that you kindly gave us, that this would be a good use for, certainly. That's, as we know, any of that funding that goes toward copay and matching funds on that is decided by the select board. So that would come back to you at that point if we were able to get that far. So the request simply tonight is to ask if the board is comfortable with us going forward with a letter of intent to them to ask if we could participate, and then go ahead and put an application in. Nothing binding by it except that.
You need a motion?
Yeah, we need a motion on this.
I'm like Steve said, yes.
I make a motion that we, give, the development director, the, go ahead for pursuing these funds for,
Authorization to submit the letter of intent.
yeah,
Yeah.
that what he said. And, because flood mitigation is an important thing.
Yes.
And I need
Here
a
a second.
Second,
Been moved and seconded. Comments, questions, Lydia?
Do you have a breakdown of which elements of this cost which amount?
No, I will, if we
When
get
it
to
gets
the
to
point of
that.
application, when I would come back to you before the board and say, this is what the breakout is, and you would have to approve that.
Just
Yes.
wondering how much the Norwich field is part of it, and I get that there's benefits to the town as well with that field being set up to flood, but are they willing to participate in the match at all?
They may be. They've spent about $500,000 so far on that project. They're not expecting anything, to your point, Lydia. My guess is that their portion of this would probably be 10–15%. And they may well be willing to participate in the matching, and I have no concerns about asking that.
Yeah.
The one thing that,
Once you see the breakdown of
yes,
the cost of each element of this, and then what is the part that this would cover with the FEMA buyout?
I'm sorry.
How much is the FEMA buyout a significant portion?
Well, what did it turn out?
Usually
to
about
be?
75%.
Yeah.
Okay,
Depending on the state participation, the state is usually a minimum of 15. Sometimes under certain circumstances, the state gives 25%. So
yeah,
the local exposure, don't really quote me on this, but it could be 0 to 10%.
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, that's
Yeah.
very
And-
helpful, and then
Yeah,
you had put in, somewhere I read how much we had put aside in ARPA, was it?
130,000 roughly, according to
Yeah,
Lori.
so this would
It would
significantly,
take a big dent out of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
so we just have to weigh it with
exactly.
other things that you might have in the pipeline, and like,
Exactly.
you know, if like. Because like extending the sewer, weighing some of these
Yes,
projects and which ones are,
and we're gonna, in a future meeting, as Steve has suggested, we're gonna talk about the sewer out because we have appropriations requested for that. That probably, we don't have that kind of money in this fund, that, the amount that would be needed from the town would probably be a small bond.
yeah,
That the board
something
would
like
have to
that.
approve.
yeah,
But to your point, we're gonna try to go for a CHIPS financing for the infrastructure for Fran family.
yeah,
And once we find out what our potential copay on there, it may not weigh better against this.
mhm,
And so for me, this is sort of right, this is step one of an exploratory process if this is worthwhile pursuing, because Fran is much farther down the road, to your
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I don't see anything on the horizon right now that's gonna take up much of the other funds. Most of the things are 100%. There is a couple of other projects that you've been working on that we will be talking about in the future, including the bike path or the pedestrian walkway.
mhm,
And we're gonna have to look at that as well.
Yep.
So I'll be coming back with you with a menu.
yeah,
But the question is just getting ourselves in the queue.
Yep.
So,
Yep, I'm getting ahead of things, but.
No,
wanted
no,
to
it's good.
think-
Oh, that's good.
That's the way to
think
go,
down the road
absolutely.
and- Okay, that answers my questions for now.
John,
I don't have any questions.
Mary,
Nothing.
so just explain to me in theory how this is going to improve the possible development of Mayo.
The biggest pushback I've gotten so far from the state is they want assurances. As we know, in 2023, we did very well because of all the work that was done post Irene, and it
Right.
never crossed Water Street.
Right.
But as you recall, it was right up to the lip of Water Street, but then there's elevation that goes up from there onto Mayo. They're gonna wanna know that what it would actually do is we would make a plan for that water that's close to Water Street to be funneled back in some way into the river and away from that section of Water
And
Street.
that could be part of this
Yes,
proposal.
yes, that's the biggest part of it. So we can say we have a plan to make sure we have a great, that we don't think it will flood, but we have ample time to know if it is.
So the Mayo doesn't become isolated.
Correct, correct. And part of that too, which another day, another discussion, but Norwich got a bunch of monitoring devices that are automatically set up that watches and gives instant reporting on flooding. And they're willing to give some to the town for us to do some areas along there that would be beneficial to them, but that's another discussion for our town managers. And then back to the select board for that, but I just got that email today, so.
And, okay. Very good. Any other questions for Tom?
So this will be the letter of intent, and then it was May 15th. Was May 15th the letter of intent, or was that when you're?
April 17th is the letter of intent, which is why I pushed Steve's on.
And then the next step was,
It's in May 15th, I think
Okay.
is the next step, yeah.
It's a full application.
Right, you have to be invited.
Yeah.
It's a full
Yes.
application. So.
alright,
Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion? Say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining, 400.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
Next item is capital expense note. This is normal, it's a refinance note for $89,600 at 4.5% interest. It looks like it's going to be with the Northfield Savings Bank. Each year when we pay off a portion of the note, we renew the note in favorable terms. I would look for a motion.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the capital expense note for $89,600. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the capital expense note for $89,600 at 4.5% interest with the Northfield Savings Bank, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? 400. Next item on the agenda is approval of local emergency management plan, Mr. Manager.
Yes, so what you have before you is the edited version of the draft plan that we had the whole emergency services team meet with Sid Pollock from Vermont Emergency Management. He's the one who manages these LEMPs. He came down, we had a good roundtable session, probably an hour and a half, went through it. Made edits, sent a draft back to him. He came back with his comments and questions and edits. We then responded, we prepared this final version with a lot of help from Ken and going through and helping make the final edits. So this is a formality, the form, you're being asked to sign the form, just noting that this plan was approved by the select board this evening, and then we'll submit it to emergency management tomorrow, and it'll be good for another year. I think one of the things that was good about this is that we had a team effort going through it. Sid had called me and said, could I come down and meet with her? I said, yeah, but I don't know if we have all of the department heads here. And it worked out very well.
That's good to hear. Look for a motion.
So moved. I'm impressed that you had that whole thing there.
Moved and seconded to approve our local emergency plan updated April 14th, 2026. Any further discussion?
I just wanna comment that I'm excited to see it a little bit more information in here. Than what we previously had. You can tell that everybody
Yeah.
came together and
Yes, that's what you're saying.
helped.
Yeah, well, yeah,
And
I couldn't have done that alone.
Yeah.
And it's more thorough than
Yes.
ones in the past.
I think-
Yeah,
I think this
absolutely.
is substantive document.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like relatively of more use.
Yep.
With more detail.
Names and phone numbers, excellence, yes.
And, the other thing I was just gonna ask, is whether we can approve it with changing Steve McKenzie to Mary Smith. So that it's
Oh, yeah, on the
up to
last
date
page.
for the year.
Yeah. I'm okay with it.
Just so we don't have to then edit it again.
Well, it would be effective. Yeah, I mean, it's effective. Mary hasn't actually started yet. I mean, technically.
So technically we can't change it.
But believe me,
Okay.
I'm not-
Okay, it's a
I'm
minor.
sitting sleep over it. To be honest with you, I think it might facilitate it if I could just sign it and get it.
Okay, and then we'll change it again. That's what I didn't know is how immediate it had to be.
But we didn't know Mary would be here when we did this.
No, we didn't.
Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion to approve the local emergency plan dated April 14th, 2026, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Abstaining? 400. Uh, 2026 summer infrastructure projects, Mr. Manager.
Yes, you may recall at the last, select board meeting, I have advised the board that I thought it would be helpful for not only the board, but for residents, to just give a kind of a preview or heads up of, some infrastructure projects that are being undertaken by, both the highway department and also the utilities department, and just, this isn't, 1,000%, but I think it's a good preview of what activities, infrastructure maintenance and upgrade activities you can expect for the summer. Bean Road, I think is gonna be some pretty comprehensive work there, ditching, culvert replacements. I've now toured town roads, bridges a couple of times with Carl just to get oriented, and one of the things that jumps out to me is that he's really spent a lot of time trying to reconstruct roads so that they're serviceable and they don't deteriorate as fast, and also a lot of drainage control by installing a number of culverts. So he's been very attentive to that. They were up on the road above West Hill Road this past week, dealing with some issues up there. And they're just gonna continue. They did. Lydia, was it you that brought to my attention the culvert on the walkway?
no, it was me. I
Oh, Mary, okay, yes,
I
yeah,
have been noticing that
yeah,
though.
that was replaced yesterday.
Oh, excellent.
It's taken care of.
That was really fast. That was Easter Sunday. I was taking
Yeah.
a walk with my family and we saw that, and we're, oh,
I don't know that there's been.
That's
paved
really
yet,
fast.
But the pipe.
That's
is-
really fast.
And they had to dig the whole 60 feet up and replace it.
Dang.
Just wasn't that second, but it's done.
Well, kudos to them.
Bridges, there are two small bridges on Chamberlain Road. They're gonna be complete replacement, it's just remove what's there and replace with I-beams, decking, subdecking, guardrails. I've actually begun to learn bridge numbers and where they are. In fact, I did ask Ken, and there is two summaries of both, bridge numbers and locations and, highway numbers and locations, and I find that it was particularly helpful when you're trying to relate the budget and the capital improvements plan to line items, so.
I know we spoke about the bridges for sure,
Yeah.
budget.
Paving, I don't know the extent of whatever, and these streets probably mean more to you right now than they do to me, but Old Mill Hill Road, Pearl Street, and School Street.
Mhm.
So that's, a lot of the highway related work, and those are specific projects on top of, the maintenance, the routine, just what's required every year. So these projects are on top of the stuff they get to do every day.
So isn't the old Mill Hill Road closed? Or is
Like I
it,
say, you know the roads better than I do. I have no idea. I don't even know where it is.
well, there.
Oh, it's,
Oh, yeah, well, you know what,
Now it's
yes,
open.
there is a road that was closed.
Okay,
I saw that in the tour, but I just can't remember the name, so it probably was that.
so.
Carl said he had one road that was closed.
okay, now it's a,
Well, the entrance to the old mill road from 64 is closed, but you still go up off of 12.
but by Bailey Road there, it's closed. It was
Right,
closed.
off to the left,
Yeah,
but from there back down, that's Old Mill Road.
yeah, okay, so that part, but after Bailey
Yeah,
Hill, Bailey
it's
Road,
closed.
that's closed, yeah, okay.
And then
You were correct.
We were both, correct. It's a long road.
I called it utilities department, but I think technically it's probably water or wastewater. There's gonna be a new 8-inch ductile iron water main installations on Pearl Street from Union Street to Vine. And then on School Street from Pearl Street to Cross Street. And then, Jim says they're installing underground power on Water Street extension to Terry Hill. So those are some significant projects. And then, with respect to the main water project, the water main, and the tanks, the contractors have actually started to come back in, and, I understand that work will be completed by July 1st.
It's excellent.
So that's an overview of some of the bigger stuff that's going to be done this summer.
Well,
And that's gonna lead right into your report, Mr. Manager.
Yes, so I apologize that it was late getting to you, just somehow the weekend evaporated. Probably of significance, Tom Davis, our Community Development Director, and Megan McCusker submitted two congressional delegated spending requests to our congressional delegation, both Senators Welch and Sanders. Tom submitted a request for $4 million to support the eventual construction of sewer on Route 12 and 12A, and I know that's been on the back burner for quite some time for Northfield. And then Megan submitted actually two requests, one to Welch and one to Sanders for advanced monitor defibrillator and related equipment, and that's in the amount of $173,000. I understand the deadline and the submission date was March 26th, so probably towards the end of April, from what I understand from Tom, we'll know whether those have been selected by those offices and then sent to the finance committee. So there's a road ahead, but that'll be the first clue. And then other things that just have happened in the last 3 weeks. As you all know, we purchased the flat screen to put in the little conference room in the municipal office, and it just seems that since I've been here, there's just been a flurry of virtual meetings, and it's just nice now to look at a flat screen rather than a small computer.
you don't know which is cause and which is effect.
Yeah.
We're much more inclined to have those meetings now that we have.
Well, yeah, I
splendid
mean, it's
screens.
just, it's much more comfortable. And actually, we're gonna have a negotiation session, team session tomorrow
Yeah.
for the ambulance. Following up some suggestions from select board member Tim Davis. I've worked with Carl, and Carl is going to start to transition to at least experiment with and trial the inch-and-a-half granite-based plan mix. I think over time, Tim says that he has great success in Berlin. So I'd like to see Carl get started and move him up the direction. It might be a little bit more expensive in the short term, but I think in the long term, it'll pay dividends. So. The repairs to the Brown Library, the HVAC system, have been started. And technically, I don't know whether they're actually on site or they've ordered it, but I've authorized that work. The doorway, as you all know, has been repaired, so that's done. had a follow-up meeting with Bill Della Sola and Jim Russo, if you remember. Bill, and then I forgot who, was it? Jeremy Whalen was in here, boy, it seems like a couple months ago, maybe it wasn't that long ago, but they made the presentation, and then I suggested at that meeting that we really should have a follow-up with Bill and Jim Russo to coordinate, some of the access that they're looking at on, by the Cheney Field, so. We did get together, we talked about it, and we actually did a field trip, but, the access to the Cheney Field and the reservoir was still blocked with snow, so we're gonna go back up this week, Thursday to work through that.
No,
Pardon?
it's clear
Oh,
now.
well, I hope so. It was just enough that you couldn't drive through it, and it was a plow windrow at the end, so that should be gone now. As you know, I prepared the summer infrastructure project summary. I think we've resolved the setback issue for Mr. Michael Tomzik down at the Falls Mobile Home Park. We looked into that, the trailer, a mobile home unit, actually is 8 feet from the apparent right of way rather than 10 feet, so is a non-conforming use, but, we understand from state statute that it is a non-conforming use that had been previously approved, even though it's a new trailer. It's located where the previous non-conforming use was located, so it's in conformance, if you will, with the previously approved non-conforming use. So there should be no, in my judgment, there should be no impact to Mr. Tomzik, so I hope we've clarified that for him. I think that was his concern. I have reached out to the contractor who undertook the pool restoration repairs, and so I didn't really know what we would get for a response. They've actually responded. They responded yesterday or today with an email request would we videotape the items so that they could get a better idea of what was involved, so they can, I assume, prepare to come back. So we'll have that done and out back to them by the end of the week. So they seem to be responsive. I'm very encouraged by that. And then, you know, a lot of life in the manager's office, among a whole bunch of things, but it's just really helping to keep ongoing projects moving. And as I said, and as I prepared the summer infrastructure project summary for you, I think the other summary I'm going to prepare, not only for the board, but I think would be helpful to Mary is my guess is you have no idea how many projects are being worked on by staff for the town, just keeping stuff going. I thought it would be just helpful to have a summary and an inventory, but not a lot of detail, but just the projects that you probably individually, I'm sure you know a few, but probably nobody, and I couldn't even recite to you without looking, but how many projects are out there in various stages. But as an example, so in the last couple of weeks, we've had progress meetings for the Bean Business Park, the 3-acre stormwater improvement work, the Kent Street stream repair grant closeout, and that just has a lot of administrative headaches, but that's a project that I think was taken done in 23. We're still trying to close it out. Barrels Road culvert, the permanent culvert replacement. A 5-foot culvert was put in during the emergency repair, but the state has determined that's not big enough and it needs to be replaced with a larger box culvert, square rectangular culvert. That's probably, I think the number's around a $600,000 project. We've submitted all of the information that is required for the scope of work. Need to secure a couple of easements. I've started that process. So that's a sizable project that, but hopefully will be supported by FEMA grant. And then Cross Brothers, the dam removal project, we had a coordination meeting on that, I think last week. So, you know, just a lot of stuff going on.
Could you give us a little more detail on that Cross Brothers dam removal project? Because that's I need to report that to the river path.
Yeah, I can give you a little more.
Yeah, but anything.
The, and sometimes these projects blur, but, I think I received a set of, updated plans. Mary, let me follow up.
We can talk about it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah, okay, yeah, and I think I got a set of plans,
Karina Daly.
yes. Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, we had, yeah, there were, I think, 7 or 8 people on that, virtual call. But it was a good meeting, I mean, I have to go back to my notes, I didn't memorize everything, but it was very helpful to me to just get oriented to the project.
Did they give you any dates? No.
No, and I hesitate to even guess. I shouldn't say no, but if they did, I just don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, we remember that there's just this little window because.
Oh, yes, yeah, yeah, okay, actually, now that you're saying that, that jogs the memory, and yes, the emphasis is to get the, documents out to bid and, try to get the construction, the window was, I believe, June 1st to October 1st, or something like that. Yeah, so we're actually trying to get it to
So
construction
the
ASAP.
bids are going out.
Well, the engineer has been authorized to prepare the, bid documents, not the plans, but the bid documents. And yes, that, I don't have a date yet, but, they know that's a priority.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Next items on the agenda, board members' comments, concerns, questions. Lydia,
Oh, that we know.
John,
Well, Jim Russo said last night that the north rim part from the bridge to where the paving stopped over by Belknap Avenue, that was all gonna be paved this year. And the former town manager said it wasn't going to be paved. So I need to know whether or not that's going to be paid.
Can you tell me that area again?
From the north end of the Main Street Bridge to Belknap Avenue.
Where is Belknap Avenue relative to Vine Street?
It's north of Vine Street.
Okay, down around and over there.
Montana.
just.
Yeah, okay, okay. Oh, let me get that clarified. I can get that clarified tomorrow.
Yeah, because the former town manager said it wasn't going to be paved. And Jim Russo said last night it was going to be paved at the utility meeting.
I remember the conversations about that vaguely and whether it was going to be repaired versus fully repaid. But yes, it's a good question. We could.
Yeah, I don't see that on Carl's paving plan, so.
Right, it would have been part of the water project.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I hope that the paving on Pearl Street and School Street will be done after the water line construction.
I was going to add that little detail. We'll make sure the new manager knows that.
Make a note, Mary.
On your day.
All set, John?
No, I had something else, but I can't remember what.
I'll come back to you in a minute.
All right.
Mary?
I have two related things. They are bridges and flags.
Bridges and
Flags.
flags.
Yeah, we have received information that because it's the 200.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so because that's happening, the Covered Bridge Historical Society is giving us some flags and some hardware to hang the flags. and we get to decide where on the bridge we're going to hang them. But Vermont is going to be the only state in the union with all its covered bridges properly flagged for the 250th anniversary of our country. So I just wanted to bring
And that
that
needs to be
to,
done by July 1st, right?
yeah, yeah. So I just want to make sure that that's up, because in the minutes of the last meeting, or the whatever meeting this was, I brought up the fact that we need to fix the bridges. And so we're gonna be putting some flags on some pretty banged up bridges.
I'm glad you mentioned that. They're up, Tim Davis, and Dave, got a hold of me today, and, we've set up a, highway subcommittee meeting for Friday morning. John will attend, Carl and Tim, and review, covered bridges and other road projects for the summer. It may alter the summary I gave you, but, so it'd be Carl, John, Tim, and I.
Yeah, and you said somebody had contacted you about wanting to do some covered bridge work as a
Yes,
demonstration
and I
project.
was thinking that, but I never heard back from him. I said, I told him, I don't know if his name was Ken somebody, and it was just a random phone call out of the blue. And he was, he apparently is a contractor in covered bridge work. And he was looking to see if, Northfield would volunteer a bridge, and I said, by all means.
Yeah, we'll volunteer 5.
But I never heard back,
Yeah, okay.
which is disappointing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Let's put it out there in the universe and maybe he'll clear us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have.
So all I have is a welcome to Mary. Thank you for applying for this job, and we look forward to working with you, Mary. We're very excited.
Thank you. I'm very excited to get started.
That's good. And I'll be in touch with further information.
Oh, I know what I had.
Go ahead, John.
It came to him.
The drainage on the Slaughterhouse Bridge.
Yes,
Yes,
and Tim is, on behalf of Tim, I'm saying yes, because he mentioned it too.
Yeah, we looked at, I mean, now what Carl pointed out to me on the Slaughterhouse Bridge is that the decking in the first 10 to 15 feet as you're going into the bridge needs to be replaced. My understanding is that drainage is an issue
Yes.
just because of the way the road slopes.
Right,
Yeah,
There's-
they different.
it just invites the water to go
And,
in.
we'll talk specifically about that on Friday, and if we need to, we want to take a look at it.
okay.
Okay,
And the Mosley Bridge needs to be fixed.
Okay, if you tell me where the Mosley Bridge is, I'll see about getting it fixed.
it's the one on Stony Brook covered bridge.
Oh, yes, okay, yeah, actually, now you say that, I never seen that, yes.
That's all I got.
Now, I don't know, now that you mentioned those, I gotta go back and check the budget. I don't know that anything has been budgeted for those. It doesn't mean that they perhaps can't be worked in, but I don't recall that either of those have been specifically budgeted in the capital equipment plan.
We had requested a bridge inventory to really get a prioritization going because there's a lot of bridges and we really can't just fix them
Well,
willy-nilly
yeah.
and
yeah,
So-
yeah, I mean, the list of bridges is amazing.
Let me get the contract signed before we scare her away.
She knows about the bridges. She's known her whole life about the bridges.
Oh, there was a email from the Vermont, or whatever it is, Highway Department about the 3 bridges on Cock Brook. And they were asking for a date to present their findings to the select board.
it's follow-up.
Yeah, I'll have to. Do you know, was I copied on that or addressed on that, do you know? I don't
I
recall
don't
that.
know, but I'll forward it.
Okay, if you would do that, that way I'll have it for sure.
Didn't we have a presentation about how much work needed to be done on
We
this
did,
budget?
and then it was anticipating of funding also, which has sort of evaporated. so
Yeah, right.
An update would be good.
Who presented that?
Oh, yeah.
The state of
State of
Vermont.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
It was in
but-
March 2024.
I was gonna say,
Very
almost 2
long.
years ago.
Yes.
It was a very long. Yes.
And that was on bridges?
Thorough. It was
Yeah.
just the covered bridges, the
Covered
ones on
bridges on Cox
Cox
Brook.
Brook.
All right, next item, anything else?
No.
Good. Next item is public participation unscheduled. I will go in the room first. Yes, sir. State your name.
Matthew Romiak, just wanted to invite everyone up to Mac Auditorium at Norwich. Friday night, 7:30, the regimental band is putting on a 250-year musical tribute, along with the Commandant's own choral cavaliers and the string ensemble, in honor of the 250th anniversary of the country. So everyone is welcome. It's a free show. And if you don't know, in addition to the oldest private military college in the US, we have the oldest marching band, oldest collegiate marching band in the country. So we're a pretty special event. So
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
Friday, 7:30.
Anyone online that, oh, go ahead, Kristen, come on.
I didn't hear anything back about the crossing light that it does not work about. Carl didn't respond to the email.
Is this at Vine Street?
Yeah, the only crossing.
Yeah,
light
okay.
we have.
Well, the other crossing is.
Well, the flashing beacons could be called crossing
Oh.
lights too.
I
but
didn't
they're-
know if any, but the,
I'll have to follow up.
okay. The.
What
sorry,
happens,
one
it
note,
doesn't,
the crossing light on Vine Street.
Yep.
The
The
same,
pedestrian crossing, right?
yes,
Yeah.
this pedestrian crossing one.
Ah,
The one on the, how do you explain it? That side
So that would be the east side.
doesn't work. The one for the gray building and across the street
That's the east side.
work.
Yeah, great building is.
The gray building is the
The
east
gray
side.
one gray building works.
Okay,
The one across from the gray building works, but the one toward Tops does not work.
North.
That's north.
yeah,
North, that does not work.
okay.
and you just jogged my memory, Carl has reached out to East Coast Signals for them to come up and make some repairs. I don't know if they have been back in touch and scheduled a time, he's trying to get them up here to just do some minimal repairs until we can get the whole signal system replaced. I'll check with him to make sure that that's looked at when they come.
Okay, I knew that there was the light issue, so I figured we better, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I know some children that try to use the light quite often.
Anyone online that would like to be recognized?
I see any hands up? I don't see any
I don't
hands
think
up.
there's any need for an executive
None that I
session.
know.
I would look for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded, further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed,
We got a
Stay.
sign.
4-0-0. Thank you.
Take the yellow one.
I don't think we've ever had such a fast meeting.
oh, we have had a couple of fast ones.
This is an hour and a half. That's nothing.
Oh, we've had less
Oh,
than an
yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember